Welcome. I am Estelle Strydom, the local project manager for the ImpENSA Training Programme. And today I am talking to Laurencia. Laurencia, would you mind introducing yourself, please?
All right, so hi, I'm Dr. Laurencia Govender, and I'm a registered dietitian. I'm currently working at the University of KwaZulu-Natal as a lecturer.
And tell us, what do you think about the ImpENSA Training Programme after completing it?
I think it's quite a valuable program, especially since, we do learn about nutrition education, we do learn about communication, maternal health when we are on campus. But sometimes after we become dietitians, we tend to forget the theory and we become more dietitians that are, let's get that information out there to our patients rather than creating that more patient-centered environment that we've learned about on campus. So I felt this module was like a good refresher. Obviously, I teach nutrition education, so some of the things weren't new for me, but I did learn from these modules. So I feel that even if you do have a background or you are teaching it, there is something new that you can learn from it, which is quite exciting.
Okay. And how did you find the first two modules, the online modules?
All right, so the first two modules I felt were very interesting and it had different approaches to teaching, which I quite enjoyed, especially with, we're moving away from contact sessions because of COVID to more online portals. And I felt that it was so enjoyable to do these modules because not only did I have the theory, there was a video that accompanied the theory to help show how to implement the theory. Then there was a bit of quizzes within while you were learning and the post-test to test that, whether you understood exactly what you've learned throughout that module for the two. And what I also enjoyed was that I could work at my own pace because currently my working environment is quite hectic. So I could fit it in between. I could even easily go back and read something if I didn't understand it clearly or re-watch a video, which I found was very helpful, especially with also being a lecturer. The online way of teaching, it's hard when you don't have the teacher in front of you to ask the questions to. So it's nice that you have that way you can go back, go forth, and we could even email you guys if we had any issues. So it was quite, enjoyable to do in that regard.
Okay, that's lovely to hear. Thank you. And then what did you think about the module 3 that was facilitated via Zoom?
That's what I thoroughly enjoyed because it was different from something that I've been to quite a few trainings and webinars, and this was a very different approach to teaching us communication. I mean, the facilitation was excellent and the facilitators actually guided us through. So they were actually facilitators and not teachers as per se. So they helped us find, our own teaching way, how we educate. They made us think clearly about how we counsel patients. As I mentioned earlier, we always think about the patient and we want to give them as much information as we can to help them for whichever disease condition they have. And we forget about being patient-centered. And I must admit, when I did do those modules, the contact session one with via Zoom, I learned so much. And it's not only that we learned theory, we also got to network with other dietitians. We got to see how other dietitians think about things. And you actually learn quite a bit from, the different personalities, the different approaches. And I also, as I'm speaking with my lecturer hat now, I also got to learn a little bit about what is taught at other universities, which is quite interesting as well. So I thoroughly enjoyed that. And I felt that I learned quite a bit because we were able to chat to the facilitators, chat to each other, and it wasn't boring because usually, when you sit in webinars and you think, oh, I'm going to be there for 4 hours, I'm going to be so tired in front of this computer. But that module, when I came out of that module, I came out with at least 2 new things that I learned that I actually wanted to implement, in the coming years when I teach my students.
Okay, fantastic. So that's actually my last question is, how valuable do you think this would be for students?
I think it'll be very valuable, not only students, but also dietitians in the field. Because I feel as dietitians, like I'm speaking with both my hats now, as a dietitian who possibly would see patients, I feel that all dietitians should go through this program, even if it's just a refresher. I think if we chat to our colleagues who are out of like university for the last 6 or 7 years, they may forget about communicational skills. Because if you think back when we were students, like we learned things, okay, this module is for this module is for that module is for that. And then we get to the real world and we're like, we completely sometimes forget about our nutrition, communication, and education modules. And I feel that this particular training session helps to speak to that. It helps to like make us remember those skills, make us more conscious when we are counseling our patients. And I feel like I think all dietitians in practice should do this because they will benefit from it. And I mean, even like lecturers, I think it's good for different lecturers from the different universities to actually go through this program, just as a refresher. Because if you think about it, there's not many programs out there in South Africa that remind us about the communication and educational component of dietetics. And it plays a major role, especially when we speak to patients. We need to empathize with them. We need to sympathize with them. We need to understand what they're going through. And it's not all about us trying to like make them do what we want, but rather bring about a behavior change together with the patient. And I feel many dietitians forget about that, especially when they go into private practice or even the government dietitians. Like when we chatted, when we did do this module, many of the participants did say, you know, it's so hard to implement this in a certain situation. And if many of us go through this workshop, we could actually chat about, you know, we've done this workshop, this is what we're doing in current practice, what's working, what's not working, sharing ideas, and we could actually be treating patients in a holistic approach, which is quite, I mean, it's a quite interesting concept. So, I mean, I feel like lecturers, students, everybody that's in the dietetics profession would benefit, but also non-dietetic professionals, like health professionals, could also benefit from this, because lots of people are very prescriptive in their manner when it comes to counseling rather than being patient-centered. Yeah. Sorry, that was a bit of a long...
That's fine. Thank you so much. I think it's lovely feedback that you gave today. So thank you very much for joining me